afternoon, everyone. Thanks for attending NUUO webinar. My name is Evan, and today's topic is about the network based NUUO solution. So here is today's agenda. We will have 4 topics for this webinar. First, I would like to introduce what is the easy NUUO concept and how to set up it. And then I will show you how to set up port forwarding in router. And last, I will let you know which port of NVR you need to set up port forwarding to let remote client to see NVR live view and playback on remote site. I will take around 20 minutes to introduce, and after 5 minutes break, we will have 10 minutes for the Q&A section. To ensure the quality of the webinar, I will mute everyone from now. So if you have any questions, please type in the question window. Okay, let's start the first topic. I will let you know the easy NUUO concept. The easy NUUO is designed to truly simplify the process of establishing Internet access to NUUO systems. There is no need for setting up port forwarding and use DDNA service. Simply register a server ID on the setting page, then go to Easy NUUO website or sign in NUUO iViewer app to watch live view and playback from wherever you are. So what technology Easy NUUO use? The Easy NUUO is using P2P technology. The P2P will create virtual tunnels through NAT firewall. So there has 2 types of virtual tunnels. First, we call it non-relay is STUN. It allows a client to obtain transport an IP address and port, which may be useful for receiving packets from the peer. And the second is relay. It allows for behind a network address translator, we call it NAT or firewall, to receive incoming data over TCP and UDP connections. In a non-relay mode, first the remote client will log into Easy NUUO web page and input the NVR solo server's ID and the username password. Then the Easy NUUO server will find this NVR solo and will provide the connection information for remote client user. So the remote client will connect with this NVR solo directly. If the user network is in the complex network environment, the remote client can connect with NVR solo directly. The Easy NUUO will go relay mode. In the relay mode, both remote client and NVR solo will send the packets to the Easy NUUO server first. And then the Easy NUUO server will pass the packets to NVR solo and the remote client. So in the relay mode, we are slower than non-relay mode due to every packet must transfer via Easy NUUO server. So what is the benefit of Easy NUUO? Okay, first, user don't need to remember the IP address or use DDNS function to connect with your NVR solo. You can just go to www.easynuuo.com and input server ID and the username password. Then you can connect with your NVR solo on remote site. And the second, You don't need to set up port forwarding in your router. So the Easy NUUO service is a free router setting and easy to set up. Okay, now we go to second topic. This topic I will let you know how to set up Easy NUUO this function in NVR Solo. First, you need to register NVR Solo server ID to Easy NUUO server, and you can register ID on the NVR Solo web page or by local display network setting. For the web page setting, please open the Internet Explorer or Windows Chrome and log into the NVR Solo. And click Network Setup Easy NUUO Registration and click the Registration tab. Enter the server ID in the server ID field. You may click the test button to check availability of the desired server ID and click the test button to check. Then click the Save button. For the NVR Solo local display setting, please go to Network Setup page and then click Easy NUUO Registration. Enable the Easy NUUO service first and enter the server ID in the server ID field. You may click the test button to check the availability of the desired server ID and then click Save button. Now you can log into www.easynuuo.com on a web browser to configure, watch live videos, and play back with any other settings, such as port forwarding or DDNS setup. Also, you can choose a language before logging NVR Solo by here, and input a server ID that you just registered by NVR Solo web browser or local setting, and then input a username and password and the verify code. So click Connect. The Easy NUUO requires Java application. So before you use Easy NUUO service, please make sure you have installed the Java application on your operation system. And when Easy NUUO accesses your NVR Solo web page, that will pop out the windows to ask user to allow to access this website or not. Please click the Allow button to keep access this web page. So after you allow the Java application, then you need to wait a few seconds to access to the NVR Solo web page. Okay. After you connect with the NVR Solo web page, and it has popped out this window, it means you are connecting by the relay mode. In the conditions of firewall security or unstable network status, user can still use this service via relay mode. What's more, to have the best browsing quality for all users in this mode, the connecting bitrate will be automatically adjusted to the moderate value after connecting 10 minutes. To use NUUO to view the NVR Solo live view and playback in your smartphone, you need to download the iViewer application from Apple Store or Google Play. Without NUUO service, you need to input a server name, IP address, live stream port, and playback port, and username password to log into the NVR Solo. But with NUUO service, you only need to input the server ID that you just set up and registered by NVR Solo NUUO setup page, and then input a username and password. So by NUUO service, now you can easily and quickly to log in your NVR Solo by NUUO iViewer application to see the live view and the playback. Okay, due to need to save bandwidth, so by default, it will always choose low profile to save bandwidth. But users still can change your stream profile to original by manually. Okay, how many NUUO ID can I have? Currently, only the NUUO ID can create in one single NVR Solo at the same time. And the NUUO supports Windows IE browser, Chrome browser, and the iPhone, iPad, and the Android phone iViewer application. But the NUUO Remote Live View application does not support NUUO. And currently the NUUO doesn't support on Mac OS browser. There has 3 error code lists in this page. If you have made the error code 1.10001, please make sure you have disabled the Windows firewall and other firewall or antivirus software, and check network setting of client PC to make sure this PC is connected with the internet. And if you have made the error code 10003, please go to NUUO page of NVR Solo and test the ID you have registered, or change other ID to register again on NUUO server. And if you have made the error code 10004, please upgrade the version of NVR Solo to the latest one. If you have made the other error code, please provide further information for troubleshooting. The first is the router's model of the client and the server side, and second is MAC address of this NVR Solo, and third is the TeamViewer access for the client PC. And last is provide above information and a submit ticket on eHelp desk. Okay, in this topic, I will explain the private and public IP address and the NAT function. And then I will show you how to set up port forward in routing, in a router. In the network, there are 2 different types of IP address. One is private IP address, and the other is public IP address. But what is the difference between a public and a private IP address? A public IP address is the one that your ISP, Internet Service Provider, provides to identify your local area network to the outside world. It's an IP address that unique throughout the entire Internet. And the private IP address is any number or address assigned to a device on a private TCP IP local area network that is accessible only within the local area network. As you can see, both of the device A and B are with private IP address in local area network. So if the remote site user needs to connect to the device A and device B are with a private IP address in local area network. So the user can connect with the private IP address directly. He or she must use the public IP address to connect to the device A or B. But what if we only have a public IP address? How we to connect with the both device A and B on the remote side? In this scenario, we need to use the router's NAT function. The NAT means Network Address Translation. NAT acts as an interface between private network and the public network, which is available between the Internet and the local area network when a request is sent from a private network to the public network. When a device located in the local area network with a private IP address, and if this device needs to communicate with outside network, it will use the public IP address in the network's gateway to identify itself to the Internet. And this translation of converting a private IP address to public is done by NAT. For example, a computer in an internal address 192.168.1.10 wants to communicate with a web server somewhere in the Internet. NAT will translate the address 192.168.1.10 to the company's public IP address. For example, the public IP address is 20.20.20.20. So the internal address is identified as the public address when communicating with the outside world. In this scenario, we have two NUUO NVR in the local area network. And with private IP address 1.92.168.1.10 and 1.92.168.1.30. And both NUUO NVR are using the 80 port for web browser. So how can the remote site user connect with both NUUO NVR by only a public IP address? We can use the router's port forwarding function to allow the remote user to decide which NUUO NVR he or she wants to be connected with it. For example, we can set up the 192.168.1.10. This NUUO NVR A internal web port is 80. And the external web port for this NUUO NVR A is 8080. So if the remote user wants to access the NUUO NVR web page, he may input the public IP address 20.20.20.20 with the port 8080. And if the remote user wants to access to the NUUO NVRB web page, this user needs to set up the 192.168.1.30. This NUUO NVRB internal web port is 80. and the external web port is 8090. So if a remote user wants to access to the NUUO NVRB web page, the public IP address will be 20.20.20.20 with port 8090. So how to set up the port forwarding on your router? First, log in to your router web page. After that, we will have to do is to find the public IP address of your router and set up port forwarding on the router to NVR LAN IP address. You can see the public IP address of your router in its configuration or status page, and then go to the port forwarding or virtual server page to set up port forwarding function. Key in the name, the private IP address of device, and the set up public port and the private port. For example, the NVRMe2 private IP address I set up is 192.168.1.10, and the public port is 8000, and the private port is 80. You can also configure port forwarding live streaming port 5150 to public port 8010 and the playback port 5160 to public port 8020 in the router. And after setup is completed, the remote user can connect with this NVRMe2 web page by keying the public IP address with 8000 port, and will receive live streaming and the playback port by 8010 and 8020. Okay, the last topic will let you know which port you need to set up port forwarding in router if you want to see the live view playback via WAN. In this page, you can see there has 3 NUUO NVR with different private IP address. And if the router user wants to use the remote live viewer and playback or iViewer, or new client to see a NUUO NVR live view and playback via the internet, which port does the user must open? Okay, for the main console and the NVRMe2 and the NVR Solo. In the remote user want to use remote live viewer to connect with the main console. NVRMe2 and NVR Solo to see a live view. The user must set up port forwarding 5150 port in the router. If the remote user wants to use the NUUO playback system to connect with the main console Me2 and the NVR Solo to see a record videos, the user must to set up port forwarding 5160 port in the router. If the remote user uses the iViewer apps and our iViewer apps supports live view and one-chain playback, so the user must set up port forwarding 5150 and 5160 port in the router. And the Titan NVR, both the live view and playback port is the same. We call this is streaming port. So if the remote user wants to use new client or iView apps to connect with the Titan NVR to see a live view and playback, the user only needs to set up port forwarding 5250 So how about if a user using a Titan NVR main sub server structure in his project? Okay, each Titan NVR default stream port is 50 to 50. But if you are using main sub server function and want to do the port forwarding, please make sure you have set up different streaming port for each Titan NVR. All of the Titan NVR in this main sub server structure, the stream port has been set up port forwarding correctly in your router. So if you are using Crystal Titan NVR and cannot see the video in Crystal NUUO client through the web, first, please sure you have port forward the management server port 50 to 50, which is for NUUO client to connect with the management server. Also, please make sure the recording server's recording server port has been port forward correctly too. And one more thing you need to set up is on each recording server when setting in the recording server web interface. You have to set up WAN IP and the port first, or the NUUO client cannot get a video stream from the recording server. Usually, the WAN IP should be your router's IP, and the WAN port is the corresponding port in router that your port forward for recording service port. Finally, this page shows the NUUO NVR's port information. You may refer this tab to open port for your NUUO NVRs. Okay, we will take 5 minutes break, and if you have any questions, please input in the question panel. Dear sir and madam, we will take 5 minutes break, and if you have any questions, please input in the question panel. Thank you.